Today we're going to be drafting 30 seasons to find the greatest rookies ever. And I was going to max out the sliders like we've done multiple times in the past, but I felt like I wanted to see some players that we could physically get consistently, or at least have a chance to get, whereas when you have it on very strong, you see these players all the time. So I'm kind of wanting to see this in a more realistic setting. For the first draft, the Lions themselves do not do super well, but the rest of the NFL, 80 overall for Jamie Hilton. We'll be looking at players that are probably like at least 79 overall. Everyone else will kind of just be like, ooh, terrible draft. Don't expect superstar X Factor here, but I will say we did not a rebuild, but a kind of following the career recently enough on an older Madden, and you could see the devs right away. I get it. The fun is there for hiddenness, but it would be cool if they had a feature to where if you wanted to see them right away, instead of having to go in like this, to turn that on, because I would definitely do it for these types of videos where it's a lot easier to just to see instead of having to click it. As 80 overall tackle here, Brooks. I really thought he was going to be superstar, and he's not. But, yeah, there's that. Take a look at the speed. Anyone? We got a couple of 99s, but no one, like, unexpected, right? We don't have a quarterback that's, like, 95 speed or something. We do have one that is 91 speed, though. Dustin Stark. We'll probably see a lot of these types of guys, but it is cool to see that kind of speed. Also, if you want to see the maxed out draft strength sliders version of this, 200 likes and we'll do it. Maybe subscribe as well if you are new. Back to the drafts. Ooh, we might have found ourselves a generational here. Julian McGowan, 81 overall, 97 speed. Very good man coverage. Obviously a very high overall in general, but also basically no injury. I would love a confirmation from EA if that's actually intended or not. Probably, right? X Factor, nice. That's a best player we've seen so far, technically. But I would imagine it is like they're kind of treating that like a sort of Michael Thomas build, if you will, where you've got such a great player, but the injury is just going to hold him back. Then you also have a really strange running back here who has ridiculous excel, very solid agility, good strength, really good stiff arm, but basically no speed. 225 is big, but it's not 85 speed, that high of an overall big. But he's an X Factor. Because of the overall, arguing generational here. And then once again, the speed was mid across the board with the only fastest quarterback of all positions at 86 speed. Draft number 3 is definitely the most mid of the bunch. A bunch of cornerbacks all in the 94 speed range for the most part. But yeah, overall, not the best work. Pick 7 overall, 97 speed. Alan Hatchett, though. I mean, he looks good, but definitely not a generational. And then quarterbacks, really struggling to find somebody fast. A couple of 87s in here, but they're all really low overall. Wow, an even worse draft class. Can't even get to 79 or 80, let alone 78 this time. As far as speed goes, only one of them is really fast, but it's another one of those classic later round speedsters that have a lot of potential, but are very, very raw. And with the quarterbacks, we do find someone in the 90 speed range, 90 speed, 88 excel. But once again, very raw, but this is the type of quarterback I like. I wish his, trucking and stiff arm was a little bit better, but he's got good juke move, good change of direction, fast, okay throw power. I mean, he's raw. Oh, here we go. We got some high overalls, and on top of it, an 84 overall running back who is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, a generational player. 97 juke move, 86 truck, 88 stiff arm, fast as hell at 93 speed. This is one of those really, really good running backs. We've seen some pretty good running backs, so I can't really say right now for sure that he's the best. Definitely not, because we've seen some 96, 97 speeders, but he is really, really good. 84 overall is now the mark to beat. You're not beating that anytime soon, though, I don't feel. You have a number 1 overall, though, was not the running back. It was actually a wide receiver. Could be generational. I wouldn't bank on it, but he could be an X Factor. Number 1 overall, after all. 79 overall. Could be the case. Not going to be, but they land themselves a really good player nonetheless. Anyone else in here? We got the other wide receiver. If he's not tall, now let's actually take a look at this tackle. Why not? 6'5", Brian Drummond. Very good power blocking. Could be superstar. If that's a generational, that's a very weak-looking generational, right? Not very... he is a superstar. It's arguably generational. He's not really that strong of a player, in my opinion. He also has a 78 overall QB. But let's take a look at those QBs, see if we got any speed going on there. A couple of 90s, actually. 90 speed there. No, it's not a couple of 90s. That's running back. 90, 85, kind of your maxed out speed. And as far as pure wide receiver speed goes, you do have a guy with 99 across. Is he one of the superstars? He looks to be. That's a great player. Great spec catch even. Just needs the short, medium, and release up, but he is solid. Oh, the Lions actually found themselves one of those 79-plus overall quarterbacks, or players in general. Mr. Trevor Starks has got it all. Decently fast, with really good throw power. Obviously, great accuracy ratings. Only going to be star dev, though. Not going to be one of those truly generationals. But he would be tied for the highest overall in the entire class. Rashad Springs was going to check if he had X Factor. He does not, but he's obviously a really good player, just normal dev, unfortunately. Then let's take a look over at some speed. 95 speed was the max in this class, unfortunately. And for the speed, the quickest quarterback is 88 speed, Brandon Powell of the Seattle Seahawks. They found him in the 3rd round. This guy is a super gem if I've ever seen one, and I'm curious to see if this guy is superstar, because I'm feeling it. He is not. Back in another draft, and tell me this guy's got linebacker size. Oh, he really doesn't. 5'11", 219 safety with 93 hit power, which is great. Very high overall, which is great. Okay zone coverage, but the speed and excel, what do you do with that? If he's 6'2", 230 or something, okay, linebacker, but I mean, you got yourselves one of the worst generationals I've ever seen. Like, if that's generational, like, what are we doing? I wouldn't even call him the best in the class just because of that speed alone. Hazelwood alone, I would imagine, is better just because of the speed. What do I do with 85 speed at any position, really, let alone safety, DB for that matter? A couple of quarterbacks that are okay speed, 89 speed for Lewis. You can definitely find some good quarterbacks later on in the draft. What is that trucking, though? Do not try to lower the shoulder with him. He's got that like running back wide receiver build, but looks like a solid quarterback, also wearing number 12. Ooh, another generational, it seems, Mr. Kareem Applewhite. 89 finesse move. He's pretty average looking, but then you look at that finesse move. 89 finesse move is crazy high. Let's take a look at what that dev is. It is an X Factor generational type player. It's not quite the generational I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of like a 6'4" wide receiver with 95 plus speed, those kind of generationals. But yeah, not quite. Well, they got to be high overall as well, to be fair, because we actually see a lot of really tall, fast wide receivers come in, but they don't always do super well. Cooper, is this one of those? I don't know why. I'm kind of feeling like one of those wide receiver builds. Am I crazy to think that? I am not crazy to think that. I could tell. Wide receiver quarterback build. Or tight end, whatever you want to place him at. Ooh, this is the kind of safety I'm talking about right here. 80 overall, 95 speed, 90 hit power, strong safety. He's got great injury, great stamina, good enough toughness, amazing catching. Sure, his pass rush ability kind of sucks, which for a safety, I know they're not pass rushers, but if I want to rush the guy, I want him, if he gets blocked, to be able to get off of that block, which he is not going to, but he is a monster. Of course, man and zone, especially the man coverage could be a little bit better, but he looks great. I mean, that speed's crazy for a strong safety, and yeah, he is a generational. He's a true X Factor generational, which we expected there, but still, you don't always know for sure. Wide receiver Jalen Banks, if he's not tall, which he's not, I don't want him, but he's not bad. He's just, once again, not my definition of a generational. How tall was Sellers actually? I didn't even see. 6'1" as well. Damn, son. That is a good safety. I mean, he could have been like 5'9", and that's still really good. It would suck comparatively, 5'11" minimum, but, 6'1". Whew. And also Harden, look at this dude. That's a generational, right? 86, power blocking. It's kind of hard to get that. That size, though, if he's a superstar, that's godly. Oh, what a sell. What a sell. Sellers, even. Quarterback, we always take a look. Not that fast. Could be another wide receiver type, though. Usually the wide receiver types are 6'3", so if that's what you're looking for. Wow. Very original there, mister. 88 speed, excel, and agility. Hey, we're back in that 80 overall again. I mean, keep sending me these types of players. These are the fun ones to look at. Really good zone coverage. Usually it's man that's better, but really good zone. Solid catching. Hit power is great. Very fast at 6'3". I don't think this is a generational, though. That zone is making me think maybe. But yeah, I was feeling star dev. I've done a few drafts, okay? I've seen a few players. What else do we have? We have a 93 speed, 79 overall running back. Usually the running backs just aren't generationals, and yeah, I'd be very shocked by those ratings, but he's an interesting build. You know, he's not really a strong power back, but he's a power back, and he is fast. And he is star dev, as expected. Really, once again, wish you could not only see the devs without going in and editing them, but also if you could actually just sort by devs, that would be really cool. Any speedly players, you have the classics 98 plusers, which we had multiple in this class. And then as far as the quarterback is concerned, we see not a whole lot going on for speed. Very slow. Actually, not even a single guy in the 80s. This was the turtle class. Well, the Lions, the first pick overall, having themselves a pretty good time with a 78 overall. I don't know if that's generational, but we'll have to check, especially if he's the highest, which he is tied for the highest overall. 84 speed, 85 excel. Really good finesse and power move. That could be 88 strength, 80 power move, 80 finesse, 75 block. I mean, if not, he is one of the best, well-rounded high overalls I've ever seen. I mean, that's wild. That's probably better than the 89 finesse guy we've seen. And yet he's only a superstar. Like, would you argue he's better than the other guy? He's more balanced, he's faster, he's got a better frame. He is 23, but that's kind of irrelevant in the case. You know, the age is completely, irrelevant to whether a guy is generational or not, I imagine. Speed for quarterback just not really looking that good either. Got a couple of, fast guys, but none of them are going to be, the big 6'4 plus framers. 81 overall running back, 94 speed, 95 excel. We're starting to get up there in the speed for these running backs. 91 juke, 88 change of direction. Trying to get a beat on this guy. Do I think he's a generational? I think he's superstar. I think he's a superstar player, not a generational or a star. I think he's superstar. Yeah, I just know things, okay? Usually I get it wrong and it's awkward, but, when I know things, I know things. And then we have one other guy that's kind of up there in that overall, 79 overall, John Presley. Not quite as balanced as the other guy. He's not as fast as the other guy, but this will be the guy that's X Factor. He is 6'6", which is a little different than most players. But no, he is a star development player. So, you're really seeing how hard it is to get those generationals. We've been on, I wouldn't say a good run, but we've had a couple of X Factor generational type players recently enough in our rebuilds, but before then, we were on a bit of a dry spell, and you can see why. Ooh, not quite a generational, but a very interesting player. 95 speed at quarterback. I'm wondering, is he a wide receiver? I don't think so. I think he actually is just a fast quarterback, but let's actually see. No, I'm wrong. He is a wide receiver build. Okay, interesting. I probably would not move him to wide receiver. Good enough throw power. Definitely can utilize him as a quarterback. Just got to develop him. 6'1", 210. I like the build. Highest overall is an 80 for Brett Adams. The Texans going. Once again, we're pretty far into this thing. Texans going with him. I think this is a generational. That medium and short accuracy is ridiculous. I want to say redonkulous, but no one says that anymore. Superstar dev. Okay, not an X Factor. I don't know why they would hold him, gatekeep the X Factor overall with that kind of accuracy, but sure, that's their choice. Some decent players in here. Any one of these guys could be a generational. I'm going to pick this guy, though, because he's got such a weird build where it's like, I think he had 88 speed, 88 excel, and 88 agility. Really high hit power, really high zone coverage. We've seen an 85 speed be X Factor. Why not this guy? And there he is. Yeah, like I said, I picked one of the two. The athleticism alone gave it away a little bit, I think. Swain, one of those normal to star devs. Oh, he's 6'4", actually. Could be a little higher than that. Maybe superstar dev, but very unlikely. This would be the most shocking X Factor of them all. I will be very true. It's superstar or star at that point. Very common for those 6'4s, because I think EA knows. They're like, 6'4 on its own is already really strong. Quarterbacks, not really going on here, but this guy could be one of those wide receivers. 6'3", 217. Don't usually see them be hidden dev, though. Usually they are normal dev guys. You have to develop them yourself. But, like I said, usually they're normal dev. They might all be normal dev, to be honest. Up to an 82 overall. Then we have a quarterback with an 81. Some of these overalls are getting a little insane now. Kerry Mullins, the 94 speed, 85 zone safety. That's the highest coverage rating we have seen from any of these players so far. It could go anywhere from X Factor to star. Nothing in between. X Factor. Damn, what a player. Don't know why, but those types of players, it's either X Factor or star. You never get the superstar. As far as quarterback goes, 81 overall. Hidden Dev, 6'5", 99 throw power. I mean, if that's not a generational, that would be kind of surprising. 99 throw power with that high of an overall. That's kind of wild. Yeah, they got themselves a beast. That's like Nick Foles right there. Looking at some of the other players, you got a right end down here. This is a really good draft class. Brian Davidson, all of them are hidden so far, so it's a good start. This guy's definitely not generational. If he is, he's like the most mid we've seen, besides that slow guy. That slow one was, I mean, he's interesting, but yeah, he was mid as hell. Speed, 97 for the wide receiver. As far as the quarterbacks, I like to look at those quarterback speeds. Not going to see anyone. Only 2 in the 80s, but the rest really slow. All right, some pretty decent overalls, but kind of a tame feeling draft, personally. Calvin Peters looks good. Could be an X factor, but 79 overall. I feel like you need to get into the 80s for a cornerback to be an X factor. Star Dev, you know, it just something about it, right? 78, 79, you can see that generational from non-corners, but corners and safeties, I don't know if it's just because their ratings are a little easier to get up by putting, you know, a little bit into awareness, like play rec and whatnot, but they usually need to be a little higher than the rest if they want to be X factors. Running back star, same thing with running back. I mean, there's so many high overall running backs every single class. Yeah, it seems like a mid class, which is fine. You know, we've had ourselves a pretty good run of it. Generational pretty much every single season besides this one. Let's take a look at quarterback. Any speed? Maybe we got ourselves a speedy one. Nope, not. It's just a really average-looking class. Okay, so we got ourselves a generational running back. The rest of the class not looking super great, but this guy has the overall the beat at 85. Was the other one 84 or 85? I don't know, but 99 juke move, 99 speed. Got all the catching traits, too. Well, doesn't have run after the catch, but has most of the catching traits. No trucker, stiff arm, really low break tackle, 5'9", 210. Gotta be X Factor, right? He's 85 overall. What do you expect? That's not generational? An 85 overall running back with 96 speed and 99 juke move isn't generational. Like, that's EA's definition. EA's definition of generational was X Factor with really high overall. What does high overall mean? I don't know, but I imagine it means at least 77 at minimum, 76, 77 minimum. Wow, that's kind of crazy. I did not expect that. Like, I've seen 99 or very close to 99 juke move guys without Superstar. They even have only Star. But usually they're not that high of an overall. Usually they're a little bit slower than that. But no, this guy, he is just a Superstar. I mean, he's still ridiculous, but technically not a generational by EA's definition, which is kind of insane. Also, Hidden Dev fullback, 84 trucking, okay run block and decent lead block and speed and whatnot. Generational fullback? No. I know this isn't quite what we're here for, but what the hell are the Lions doing? Them and their tight ends, dude, they've just got a history. Like, they've just got a history. They really do. But let's take a look at what we're here for. The generationals, 280 overalls, one of them being a quarterback to the Cardinals, all the way down at the end of the first round. Once again, this could be a case. Wow, 91 short off rip is crazy. 32 injuries, even worse. But this could be another one of those cases of every single team having a quarterback already. And, I mean, he's got low injury, but he's got high dev. I think that is considered a generational, but he's also injury prone. So what the hell do you do with that? Barrow, 6'4", that's got to be generational. He's way too balanced. No? Doesn't really have the size. He's not like a freak, but he looks good. Yeah, I think Superstar, it's weird because it's like they can't go to X Factor. Well, they can, but it's like really rare. Like you see an X Factor lineman every 100 drafts or something like that. But when they go to Superstar, I think, you know, for fullback, kicker, punter, O-line, that is their definition of generational because it's the highest dev they can get consistently. I'm not really sure what causes the game to glitch out and, you know, give O-line rookies X Factor. It's very rare, but I'm not really sure what causes that. But I think it's only, you know, considered intentional for Superstar for those guys. Oh, this draft was not great. One of the highest overalls is an 87 speed 5'9 wide receiver. What a weird build. 90 short route, though, which is really strange. Great kick return. Juke move's okay. Such a strange build, which I like. It's like completely random. It's kind of a, you know, it's kind of like a Julian Edelman build almost. I actually really like that build quite a bit. But yeah, definitely not a good build, just so strange that I like it. You know, it's one of those weird builds that like I kind of like that. It's strange. Quarterback, I thought I saw someone in the 90s. I did not. Kind of a mid-draft. 78 overall is the max overall again. We haven't really seen like a juicer generational X factor, right? Like, where is my 6'4", 96 speeders, you know, at quarterback, or any position really, but wide receiver. Speaking of quarterback, speed 89 could be one of those wide receivers. 5'11", doubt it. I doubt it, but you never know. Yeah, I mean, we never know, but we know this time. No, the answer is no. We got a really high overall, 82 overall, Taj Pendleton, 6'5", 285. Kind of reminds me of the DT we had in the Panthers franchise, just maybe a little bit better. His 83 speed. He's a power move guy instead of finesse, though, so a little different. Maybe not better, just different, perhaps. Let's take a look at the dev. Obviously an X factor, but just in case he wants to get wow, we got to catch him out on it. And then we have a cornerback, 80 overall, 95 speed, 6'4". Usually not an X factor, but you never know. Let's find out. Could be an X factor. I don't think so. Usually star, sometimes superstar, but yeah, usually star. And the rest, don't know if we're going to see much here. 79, I mean, there's a lot of 79s, though. Wait, who is this? Wait. Yo! Okay, we're just catching. I don't know if there's going to be anything else. I was literally just about to kind of ignore everyone because I was kind of glancing and, you know, everyone looked like a corner to me. I see corner. I saw this as a CB. 99 speed quarterback, dude. Literally 99 speed. You cannot go faster than 99 speed if you were unaware. I've never seen that before. It's cool that it exists. It 100% exists. Dev, he's a generational. He's just being outshined by the other guys. That is the best quarterback we've ever seen, I think. Like, I'll show you guys, you know, we have the draft strength on normal. You can physically find that guy, potentially. I don't know how hard it is because I don't think we've seen this yet. I'm pretty sure we've never seen 99 speed. But yes, it exists. That is crazy. Let's take a look at the rest of his ratings again. Nice. I'm glad we've seen one. I'm glad we've seen a guy that is truly what I would call a generational. Now, I will say, would love to see a little higher throw power, but you can kind of get that potentially with off-season, you know, training goals. But 99 speed, 92 excel, 95 agility. Of course, he has paranoid sense of pressure, because why wouldn't he? That is wild. Also, this guard, I think, might be a generational. He's superstar dev. He's a high overall. He doesn't look the greatest, I will say, but he is huge. 6'5", 325. Great lead block, great impact block. Just not that fast. If he had like 70-some speed, I would love these ratings, but because he's not, it's really the dev that's holding him up there. None of the ratings are really that great. Like, if you look at that quarterback, if he was a normal dev, he's not technically a generational, but he would be considered a really damn good player, obviously. But look at a little bit of speed at 6'4". But with that regard, it's really just only the dev holding him up. Did we have anyone else here? A bunch of corners. Who knows? I mean, yeah, they could be like superstars, but we see a billion corners left and right. If they're like not super fast, who cares? But yeah, that quarterback. Oh, there's another quarterback that's fast. Not as fast, obviously, but still up there. 94 speed. No awareness. What is he? 5'11"? We got to check. Always got to check. Is he a wide receiver or not? He is. He can play wide receiver. Another draft. Definitely nowhere near as good as the last one. Paul Money. Going to make that money with that top pick. Was he number 1 overall or was he close to it? Could be a generational, but it'd be kind of one of those good ratings, nothing special types. Nice superstar, though. That's pretty good. Was he pick 1? He was not pick 1. He was pick 28. Where are these quarterbacks when I'm drafting? Every time I need a quarterback in the first couple of seasons, everyone at the top is taking them, and they're all mid. Pick 28, just casually a superstar god. But yeah, it's cool. Who cares? Who cares about what we need or what we want? Any quarterbacks with some speed? Kind of a mid-draft. We expected that already. 79 overall. The highest is a quarterback again. James Williams, 6'6", hidden dev. Basically, like, everything's 80s except for the throw power at 94. Really solid-looking QB. Dev of star only. Not going to be one of those generationals. Anyone else? Running back, 78 overall, 93 speed. Normal dev, I was about to say, look kind of standard to me, but got to check them. High devs, you just don't know. or high overall, so you just don't know. Don't know what their dev is. Is it going to be high or not? Tight end, he's kind of mid, though. Barry, pick 10 overall, 97 speed. Nope, another short guy. They're all short. If you're going to be tall and fast, you're going to be a really high overall, or you're going to be like mid at everything else. We do have a pretty fast quarterback here in Langford. Jared Langford, 6'3", definitely looking like one of those wide receiver builds. And yep, there is another one. I mean, we're seeing these pretty constantly, right? We're seeing them like one every 3 to 4 drafts, so be on the lookout if you're looking for something like that, which I think you should be. It sounds like a lot of fun. 80 overall center. That's the first center we've seen, I think, well, since the last time we tried this. Finesse blocking, not the best, but looking pretty damn good in general. 6'4", I'd be putting him at guard or tackle, 100%. Is he a superstar? He is. So technically, by their definition, a generational, because that's the highest dev you realistically can get. Rest of the class looking kind of mid. Maybe the 78 overall guard is generational as well. Looks really bad, though. I will say, if he's a superstar, it could just be coincidence. I don't think those ratings are like that, but he is a superstar, so maybe it is. Let's take a look at the speed. Any Speedleys? Wide receiver, we see, all the slot types with all that kind of speed all the time. Be cool to see 6'1 plus, but kind of rare. 6'1 you do, but a little bit higher than that, probably not so much. 2 quarterbacks that are 90 plus speed, which is pretty nice. Justin Pearson, the hidden dev quarterback, looks like 91 speed, 88 excel. I'm trying to tell. I think that is a wide receiver. It's not. I'm wrong. I had a 50-50 call, and I got it wrong. I couldn't tell. I was kind of hesitating because the fact that it was 88 speed, or 88 excel and agility, 55 awareness. We literally just seen a guy with 55 awareness last time. Was he hidden, or was he a wide receiver? I think he was, right? Okay, so the awareness might be the tell. Okay, so that's interesting to know. Oh, Juicer overall, 84 overall. There's no point in looking at his dev. We know he's a generational. 85 plus in all the pass block with an 88 base pass block rating. Don't even need to look at his dev. We obviously know. But the rest, anything else going on here? Got a DT that's a 77 that looks kind of random. Yeah, kind of standard, if you will. Really good block shedding. Not very good at getting to the quarterback. Let's take a look at the speed now. No quarterbacks to be found. Fast running back. A 4th rounder with 94 speed is pretty interesting. Give me Keaton Mitchell vibes a little bit. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks. Could be in the 90s. Obviously, all those top ratings there aren't going to show quarterback, because 90 is still a lot lower. No, just pretty average. 81 overall cornerback, Mike McNeil. Really good man in zone coverage. Pretty damn good catching, good press. Probably going to be star dev, though. These high overall cornerbacks are really random. Nope, superstar. I was wrong, actually. Kind of random, and usually they're star dev. They're either normal or star if they're really high, but sometimes you do get really lucky. Superstar, X Factor, one of the two. The rest, kind of some corners, some DNs, speed. The classic. We're going to see something special. Nope, it's always the 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". If you're lucky, you get 6'1". No higher than that for height, though. Any quarterbacks at speed? Unfortunately not. Defensive tackle, pick 3 overall, 78 overall. He is hidden. There's a chance. He's got good power, move, and finesse. Usually you don't get both styles. This guy could be an X Factor. I would suspect star or superstar, though. Yeah, I kind of expected that. I literally said I expected it, to be fair. I suspected it. Cornerback, 78 overall. I mean, sure, we'll take a look. Hidden dev, 6'1". But, yeah, I mean, yes, the zone's good, but the rest, I mean, I don't think this guy's anything higher than star, so there's really no point there. Let's take a look at some speed. Classic 99 speeder. Always going to be short, though. What about the QBs? Ooh, no. Kind of a mid-draft class. Ooh, a couple in the 80s. This lineman, Duckworth, Clifton Duckworth. Huge player, good base ratings, great power blocking, insane impact blocking. Some of these ratings, in Madden, I feel like they're kind of outdated and they don't mean what they're supposed to mean. Because if you have a 96 in anything as an offensive lineman, you should be probably pretty decent, right? Yet, I don't feel like that impact block does a single thing. Keyshawn Booker, 6'4", 304. Look at the power move and finesse move. Insanely athletic. If this guy's generational, this might be the best DT we've seen. The guy we had was pretty good, but he did not have 2 styles, and his finesse was good, the one that we drafted in that Panthers franchise, but the speed here is even faster. The other guy's like, I don't even know, was it 83 to 85, somewhere around there. Maybe he was faster, I don't know, but X Factor, no real surprise there. That that speed kind of gave it away, right? Like, that's crazy speed for a defensive tackle. It's crazy speed in general. It's crazy speed for a defensive tackle. I should say it's crazy speed for a defensive player in general. There's not really a position on the field other than cornerback where 85 speed's not at least serviceable. It's good enough to get the job done, let alone for someone that size. He's blazing. 79 overall, this left end looking pretty promising. Christian Peterson, very fast because he's a big dude. 6'4", 273 with 86 speed, 87 excel. Strength's really good. Power moves solid. I can't say with certainty this is an X Factor. We're basically playing the is he or is he not an X Factor game, and he is an X Factor. I said, not with certainty. I think, I thought he would be an X Factor. Not for sure, though. And then cornerback, we talk about it. 6'4" corner, usually normal or start. That's usually what you're going to get with those two, with that, height. And then we have potentially a generational fullback, 77 overall. Ridiculous trucking. I mean, what do you do with that, though, right? Like, does 92 trucking really matter when you're only 81 speed? I can't say for certain. I don't think so, but he is generational. There's no doubt about it. What else do we have for overalls? Any speedly players? Any really fast players? Not really even in general. What about quarterbacks? Any of those wide receiver types? This looks like a wide receiver, maybe. Hawley, 5'11". If he's a wide receiver, he's terrible, I'll tell you that much. 67 awareness. I want to find another one of those guys with 55 awareness because I think that is like the key to knowing. Not that that really proves anything because you can't really see someone's awareness guaranteed unless you fully scout them. Oh, we see a middle linebacker. He's not the fastest, but he's definitely fast enough. If he was a little bit taller, with a little bit of hip power, maybe we'd be cooking with something here. Okay jumping, good catching for a middle linebacker. Very balanced. I mean, this is 100,000% an X Factor. I would bet the world on this being an X Factor. Yeah, I mean, you don't see that kind of balance for most positions, let alone linebacker. It's almost always one or the other, or really low balance. Then you have a safety. I'm expecting X Factor here as well. 98 power, fast, 83 zone, 77 catch. I mean, this is the type of player that I probably miss on because he's 23 and he's only 5'10", but, he looks good enough to probably where you would see it. He's not an X-Factor. He's a star dev, which, once again, DB is the hardest position to guess generational or not because there's so many high overalls. I don't know what it is about that position that just boosts the overall with very low ratings, but it just does. What else do we have for the other positions? Cornerback, running back, corner, wide receiver. What else do we have? 99 speed, 99 excel, 98 agility for Cordani. Great catch and traffic and spec, but no regular catching. I'm not even sure what that means, to be honest, because most of the time you're catching it in traffic. Like, what does that actually mean? Does anyone know? Like, do any of you guys know what the difference between catch and traffic is? Like, so he has a better chance to catch it if somebody's on him versus if he was wide open? Like, is that what that's saying, or does catching help catching traffic and vice versa? Honestly, if you ask EA, they probably wouldn't even know, to be fully honest. Oh, I'm super disappointed. I thought we were still going. I haven't really been paying attention to any of this, and, here we are. It's all over. Just like that. It's Jover. Well, I mean, we've seen some good players. Not great. If you guys want to see me do one of these with the max sliders again, let me know in the comment section below. We'll do like a 200 like goal. Maybe I'll have to do a voiceover in the beginning to set that goal because, not everyone's going to make it to the end of the video. I understand that. But, yeah, that 99 speed quarterback, that guy was interesting. Do we even know where he went? Can we even see anything because it's too late? We can't. The league is over. Can we at least look at the record books while we're here? All-time, any records changed? Most touchdown catches, CeeDee Lamb. Most sacks, Cohen. 288 of them, mind you. That's crazy. In a season, any new guys? Burrow with 56 passing touchdowns. Ross St. Brown had 23-20 for yards. Coffee, 25 touchdowns. Sacks, Para, 28. That's going to be it. There's nothing else to it. That was 30 seasons of drafts, 29, whatever the hell they allow you to do nowadays. And I'm a little disappointed. A lot of good defenders, not a lot of good offensive players. So when you see one of those 6'4", 6'5", even 6'6", 95, 96 speed X Factors, realize how lucky that is, you know? So if you have a chance to go and trade up to number 1 or whatever you need to get them, trade the whole house if you have to, because they are rare and they are worth it. We didn't see a single one here. We didn't see a single. There might have been a generational wide receiver, but not one of the truly generational. Like, I'm talking about a guy with some speed, maybe some height. You know, we did not see that this entire time. Seen a couple of good running backs, not greats. Seen a lot of good QBs, that's for sure. And then a lot of defensive players, especially pass rush, D-line kind of guys. But yeah, a little disappointed, especially at that wide receiver position, which I was hoping that we'd see like a really goated player, but 30 years and not a single one. So yeah, that kind of gives you an idea of what you're expected to see in these franchises. Most people don't play a franchise more than really 5 years, less than that, realistically, most, you know, consistently, but 5 years at most. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I do appreciate your continued support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. Had a Batman video yesterday. Check it out. There'll be Patriots franchise a little later today, I imagine. This is going to come out before that. And then a rebuild tomorrow with more Batman on Monday. So be on the lookout for all that. Regardless, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya. And as usual, shout out to all the members of the channel. Really do appreciate you guys a ton. If you're out there and you're not a member and you're thinking about becoming one, click the join button to see all the details for the membership. We have a few members only rebuilds up already. We do one a month every 15th of the month, and a couple of non-rebuilds as well. We'll probably have a gauntlet video at some point, maybe like a week or two from now, kind of split it up a little bit. But yeah, remember or not, appreciate y'all for watching, and see ya.